This is Kilo Echo Zero, Yankee Kilo Victor. The Denver Radio Club Net will start in about 4.5 minutes.
Every year during the fourth full weekend of June, the American Radio Relay League hosts Field Day, a popular on-the-air event for amateur radio operators. For 2026, the event adopts the theme Amateur Radio, a National Resource, coinciding seamlessly with the nationwide America 250 celebrations. Across the United States and Canada, thousands of licensed hams set up temporary communication stations to participate in this large-scale practice. It provides an opportunity to test equipment and refine communication skills, simulating scenarios where standard infrastructure might be limited. Along with its focus on practical readiness, Field Day is an engaging operating contest and a community gathering that highlights the science and service of the hobby. Locally, the members of the Bella Vista Radio Club are arriving at Metfield Skills Park to begin a demanding 24-hour operating marathon. With the rain now entirely behind them, the operators are preparing for the realistic challenge of pulling faint signals through the static and atmospheric noise. The continuous operation extends well into the darkness, becoming a long and grueling night that requires different members to rotate through shifts just to keep the stations constantly manned. Meeting the task head-on, the team is set up and ready to transmit. Here is a first-hand look at their experience.
Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to the BVRC Bella Vista Radio Club Field Day for 2026. If you'd like to gather in, we'll have our opening ceremonies here.
But before the radios come alive, the weekend officially begins with a traditional opening ceremony. The West Bentonville High School NJROTC Color Guard presents the colors, grounding the event in a spirit of patriotism and community. This commitment to service is further recognized as special proclamations from Bella Vista Mayor John Flynn and the Arkansas Governor are read aloud, officially declaring Amateur Radio Week. Following a reading of the Amateur's Code of Ethics, the final minutes tick down. With guest meteorologist Josh Rugger poised to make the first official contact, the clock strikes 1 and the marathon begins. The first stop on the grounds is the Get on the Air station, where operators are already settling in and guiding newcomers through their first contact, scanning the frequencies and listening closely to catch any sudden openings in the band.
Give his call. Go. No. Go.
November 5, Bravo, Victor Alpha.
The Alpha? Say it again.
Yep. November 5, Bravo, Victor Alpha.
Rogers.
Roger.
Say it again.
Yep. November 5, Bravo, Victor Alpha. QSR, you are...
No, give me that again.
November 5, Bravo, Victor Alpha. QSL, you are 3 Alpha Arkansas Alpha Romeo.
73 means best wishes and regards.
Best wishes, okay. Perfect. That's awesome, okay, sweet.
The heart of Field Day for newcomers is the GOTA, or Get on the Air, station. Leading the charge is Don Benta, call sign K5DB, who brings an impressive 57 years of amateur radio experience to the microphone. After guiding guest meteorologist Josh Rugger through the club's very first contact of the weekend, Don turns his attention to the public. The GOTA station offers unlicensed visitors the rare opportunity to sit at the radio and transmit over the airwaves under Don's expert guidance. Several young attendees step up to the rig, successfully logging their very first amateur radio contacts. But their hands-on experience doesn't stop at the radio dial.
This is the Denver Radio welcome to the DRC Net being held on repeater W0TX. This is a meeting held on the air every Sunday evening about 8:30. Good evening, my name is Bill, and my call sign is Kilo Echo Zero, Yankee Kilo Victor, and I'll be your net control station from Lakewood, Colorado. If there is any emergency or priority traffic during this net, say break at any pause, and the net will be suspended until the emergency or priority traffic is completed. This net is for the DRC members and all interested radio amateurs. We're here to share information concerning any ham-related activities. Regular meetings of the Denver Radio Club are held on the third Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. These are held online or also in person or both, and are archived on our YouTube channel for the Denver Radio Club. The next meeting is going to be held, oh gosh, my calendar, August 19th. An Elmer session is held at 6 p.m. just prior to our monthly meeting. This session addresses any amateur radio questions you might have. So whether you are new to amateur radio or interested in some new application of amateur radio, this is a session where you can get help. Also, every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m., except the third Wednesday when our monthly meeting is held, there is a learning net held on 145.490 megahertz and 448.65 megahertz. This is another area where you can find answers for your amateur radio-related questions. As a general interest club, we provide emergency communications for the Salvation Army, the City of Wheat Ridge Police Department, the City of Lakewood Police Department, and the West Metro Fire District. We are always looking for members who would like to participate in this support. Please contact our club president if you would like to help. Our current president is Kevin Schmidt, K0KPS, and his phone number is 303-475-9234. The Denver Radio Club website is W0TX, that's Whiskey Zero Tango X-ray.org. Denver Radio Club also participates in the ARRL Volunteer Examiner Program. If you have need for VE testing, our VE team is available to support you. Please contact our VE team lead, Robert Pickett, Kilo Zero Romeo Alpha Papa at K0RAP@W0TX.org. The Denver Radio Club VE team stands ready to support VE testing for large or small groups, including groups of 2 or more people. This is the Denver Radio Club Net W0TX, and this is Kilo Echo Zero, Yankee Kilo Victor, serving as net control. Are there any special announcements or bulletins for the net this evening? If so, please call now. For regular check-ins, I would like to welcome and invite any visiting radio amateurs to check into the DRC net this evening. During this and other nets, a 100 Hz TL repeater access tone is required. You can use either 145.490 megahertz with a minus 600 Hz offset, or 448.625 megahertz, 449.350 megahertz, or our DMR repeater on 448.625 446.7875 with a minus 5 megahertz offset, time slot 2. In addition to All-Star Link node 42851, Echo Link node 4140, or our DMR Brandmeister talk group 310804. Are there any visiting radio amateurs who would like to check into the DRC net tonight? Please call now. If someone just tried to contact us, I couldn't hear a thing. Okay, next I would like to welcome and invite any newly licensed or recently upgraded radio amateurs to check in. Please call now. Now I will take regular check-ins in groups. Please let me know if you have any traffic when you check in, and I'll get back to you. First, radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin with Alpha through Echo, that's A through E.
November, Bravo 0, Bravo November. Kilo, Charlie 0, Charlie Zulu, Robin Thornton.
Kilo 1, Delta, Bravo, Charlie, K1, DBC drone with traffic.
0TX repeater.
Okay, I'm going to stop here for a moment. Okay, I'd like to acknowledge Bob, NB0BN, Bob again, KC0, Charlie Zulu, and Daron at K1DBC with traffic. Is there anyone else in Alpha through Echo?
Whiskey Bravo 0, Alpha Kilo Victor, WB0 AKV, Rich in Westminster.
Okay, Rich in Westminster, I have you. Next, I'm going to proceed to the next section of the alphabet. Foxtrot through Juliet, F through J.
Six Hotel Juliet Victor, K6HJV, Tom, Nevada, no traffic.
WD0 CIV, Charles and Denver, no traffic.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, Foxtrot Papa India, Ron and Lakewood, no traffic.
Okay, I'd like to acknowledge K6HJV, Tom in Arvada, WD0CIV, and KF0FTI. Okay, next I'm looking for people with call sign suffixes, but from K through O, that's Kilo to Oscar.
Kilo Echo Zero Oscar Sierra India Tom, Highlands Ranch, no traffic. Whiskey Zero Lima Foxtrot, Orland and Golden, no traffic, over.
Okay, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome to the net KE0OSI, Ron in Lakewood, Tom in Littleton, and WW0LF, Orland and Golden. Okay, now I'm looking for call signs P through T, Papa through Tango.
Whiskey Bravo 2, Sierra Hotel Romeo, Stanton, Denver, no traffic.
November 0, Tango Romeo Papa, Jim in Lakewood.
Whiskey 0, Tango Romeo Mike, Tom in Aurora.
Kilo 4, Romeo November Yankee, Ronnie and Thornton.
Hey, I'd like to acknowledge Whiskey Bravo 2, Sierra Hotel Romeo, Stan in Denver. Let's see, N0TRP, W0TRM, K4RNY, Ronnie, and thank you for putting out the notice for this meeting tonight. Okay, lastly, I'm going to finish up the alphabet. I believe it's uniform through Zulu. Please call now. Hearing nobody in that range, I'm going to open it all up to the entire alphabet. Please call in now.
This is K1DBC again, relaying a check-in online from our YouTube live stream. No call sign, but first name is Rodney, R-O-D-N-E-Y, checking in online.
Okay, Daron, I got Rodney in. Next, I'll invite somebody in our leadership because I didn't hear Kevin Schmidt log in. So is there somebody from either the vice president or someone from the board who can say a few words, please?
This is K1DBC, club officer. I'm more than happy to do so if no one else is wanting to step up. All right, this is K1DBC. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending here this evening. You may have attended our meeting this past Wednesday. We were graced by the one and only Dave Kassler, KE0OG, who gave a presentation on antenna-masts. It was a fairly comprehensive presentation on how to build an antenna-mast and at a reasonable price. If you did miss it, again, youtube.com/Denver Radio Club. It was recorded on there. You're more than happy to go and rewatch it if you've seen it already, though. But about an hour long, he gave a great presentation.
If
so
you have
materials from Home Depot and your normal hardware store type parts. Let me drop here for a moment. So again, can't thank him enough for that, and we had a pretty good attendance on that. Let's see, we'll have a roundtable coming up in another couple of weeks here, around the 5th of August. I can't believe it's already rolling around to August here already, but if you haven't checked out our current roundtable for July, W0TX.org, right on the front page there. A lot of great information always put together there, so can't thank enough everyone who puts that together. Let's see here. Inside baseball, we had our tech committee meeting. Again, we don't advertise it well enough, but anybody is welcome to join us. It's the second or third Thursday of the month. I do apologize about that. Feel free to get a hold of me if you want to attend it. Let's see. Let me see if I can briefly talk about what we did there. Myself, Pete Sobansky, 8B8WN. It was more or less taking care of some behind-the-scenes things for how we work with our new payment provider, Stripe. They were charging us a minor fee, or they were mentioning that there would be a minor fee if we continue to do a certain thing. So we just had to switch over to some private API keys, and that took care of that. We had our board meeting third Wednesday of the month last month. We'll be having it the fourth Wednesday of the month. It's coming up this Wednesday, so we'll be having that coming up here. Let's see if I can bring up what we talked on there about. Well, of course not. I was in charge of taking notes minutes this month, and I have not compiled that just yet. Upcoming information about last month's board meeting, though, will be in next month's Roundtable newsletter once they're approved, and you'll see what we discussed there. It's fairly routine. We more or less approve a budget, talk about tech committee stuff, and then bring up kind of anything else that is going on. So with that, I'll throw it out to the group. I think that's all that I had. I've waffled on here long enough. Does anybody have comments or questions to myself or any of the other board members? If so, please call now.
Kilo 4, Romeo, November, Yankee with a comment.
Go ahead.
We had the committee for trying to gather more members and more activity and stuff like that, and we did decide to cancel the DRC Saturday for next week because of the Ham Fest down in Monument, so it has been canceled. I will get a letter out to everyone tomorrow. Just want to let everybody know, K4R and Y.
Okay, thank you for your input to the both of you. Daron, you mentioned you had check-in traffic. Do you still need to speak, or have you said enough?
This is K1DBC. Thank you so much. And a couple of check-ins online real quick. We had Lucas. I don't see a call sign, but first name is Lucas, Lucas, and then Kenny, Kilo Delta 0 Charlie Golf Fox. So again, that was Lucas and KD0CGF. I did have a little bit more traffic here. Let me drop a second. I mentioned a couple of times over the last week or so that I was trying to get Wires X connected up into our main repeater system. It turns out it doesn't work the way that I thought it does. I hope it would. Basically, I have a Yaesu transceiver, an HT, that connects into the internet to Wires X and then is able to more or less crossband over analog. It says FM in their documentation here with the portable HRI mode using the access point. It's the portable digital node function. So just in case anyone was wanting to test that, unfortunately that is not working just yet, but I am still working on that. This is K1DBC, back to net control.
Thank you, Daron. Okay, this is the Denver Radio Club W0TX, and this is KE0YKV, your net control station. Does anyone else have any other comments, information, or business for the net? Are there any late check-ins? Okay, information about upcoming contests can be found at thecontestcalendar.com. Your latest QST, if you still get the paper copy, or the ARRL.org contest calendar. Weather reminders, the High Noon Net meets daily at 12 noon. Early check-ins start at 11:30 on 7.240 megahertz. Salvation Army Saturn Net is at 9 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time, Monday through Saturday, 14.265 megahertz. For more information on the Denver Radio Club repeaters, please see our website, W0TX.org/repeaters. Your support of the Denver Radio Club is greatly appreciated. If you would like to participate in any of the many club activities, please contact our club president, Kevin Schmidt, K0KPS. Sorry, I tried to pull my radio off the bench by pulling the cord too hard. Okay, your support. Oh, no. I would like to thank everyone for checking into the DRC Net tonight. Your support is greatly appreciated. I hope you all have a great week. 73. Tonight we had 21 check-ins. The Denver Radio Club Net, W0TX, is now closed at 2:56 UT or 8:56 PM.
W0TX. Repeat.
This is KE0YKV, your net control station. Out.
This is K1DBC. In case anybody's interested, in a couple minutes here, we'll play the ARRL Newsline most recent report. So hang out here for another couple minutes if you want to chat on these repeaters. But after a few minutes, the repeater will be in use for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then you're more than happy to use this again. This is K1DBC. Look out for that in just a couple minutes here.
Alongside their time on the air, these kids participated in an antenna building class led by Bill Durham, call sign KG5ZCI. Under Bill's instruction, they constructed their own directional antennas, which will be put to the test later in a classic amateur radio activity known as a fox hunt. In a fox hunt, operators use highly directional antennas to track down a hidden transmitter, the fox, combining radio direction finding skills with a race against the clock.
So we are 10 and 12 years old, and we came across this field day in ham radio by just biking to the pump track over there across the street, and we just saw this and thought it could be interesting. And it was a really good experience for us.
Like we came over just to get a few bottles of water, and they told us, hey, come back at 1. You can talk to the ham radio. And I'm like, whoa, really? That's so cool. We came across an antenna building class, and they let us do it for free, so that's awesome.
I like field day because it is very interesting with all the computers and the radio, and the most things I really like is talking into the radio. You follow the signal or say what they say, and then you could like press the button and just talk and have fun.
I got brought here by my dad. He likes doing this, so I'm here to cheer him on.
This is K1DBC. Again, the ARRL Newsline will play in about 30 seconds here. This is K1DBC.
Just a short walk from the antenna building class is the welcoming tent, serving as the true gateway to the field day experience. Captained by Tom Tebow, call sign KN4SLP, and Dana Widboom, call sign KI5TGY.
Node 5162.
This is ARRL Audio News, your weekly summary of news from the world of amateur radio.
Good evening. The time is 9 p.m. Weather conditions clear. Temperature.
I'm John Ross, KD9DJ, and this is the ARRL Audio News for Friday, July 17th, 2026. The World Radio Sport Team Championship 2026, held in the United Kingdom July 8th through the 13th, featured 50 teams of 2 operators, each competing under identical conditions in a 24-hour continuous IARU HF contest. The top 3 teams were extremely close, reflecting a highly competitive event. Highlights of the event included over 260,000 contacts across multiple bands, live scoring and real-time leaderboard updates, plus worldwide live stream coverage and commentary. The champion gold team was Yaroslav Olnik, UW7LL, and Yuri Omnipoko, VE3DZ. They were operating as MB2M. Also completing this year on the Youth Number 3 team was ARRL HQ staff member and Education and Learning Support Specialist Max Friedman, N4ML, and his teammate Willow Malden, W7WLW, operating as MB4X. Overall, it was a great experience, said Friedman. I'm hoping to participate in the 2030 WRTC event. And you can watch YouTube videos of the WRATC 2026 event at their YouTube channel. And at the close of the WRCT 2026, WRCT Sanctioning Committee announced it has extended the period for accepting applications to host the 2030 World Radio Sport Team Championship. Students across the country are soaking in their summer vacation. Some of their teachers are at ARRL headquarters in Newark, Connecticut, participating in the ARRL Teachers Institute on Wireless Technology, TI. This is the most valuable professional development I have ever attended, said Colleen Campbell, KB8VAQ from Columbiana, Ohio, a teacher attending this week's TI Session 1. The course introduces educators to the basics of electronic principles, radio frequency propagation, and antennas. The session is one of several held at ARRL headquarters throughout the summer as part of a significant expansion of the program to reach more educators each year. Additional sessions have also been held at locations around the country, bringing wireless technology education to more classrooms and communities. The growth of the Teachers Institute reflects ARRL's commitment to developing the next generation of radio amateurs by reaching students through the educators who inspire them. This week's instructor was ARRL Education Specialist Wayne Green, KV4DSF of Brunswick, Georgia, who is teaching 6 TI sessions this year. Generations of radio amateurs credit ham radio with sparking their interest in science, engineering, and technology, said Green. Based on experiences with topics such as radio-enabled high-altitude balloons, satellite communications, radio astronomy, and wireless security, we are equipping teachers to bring that same spark into their classrooms. Each educator we reach has the potential to inspire hundreds of students who may be our next radio amateurs, innovators, and technology professionals. For more information about the program, you can visit arrl.org Teachers Institute, and individuals and radio clubs who can help expand opportunities for educators and students are invited to consider supporting the ARRL Education and Technology Fund. Focal point weekend for this year's ARRL SET is October 3rd and 4th, 2026. The September 2026 issue of QST will have a one-page announcement for this year's test. As always, local and section SET teams are encouraged to conduct their exercises on another date throughout the autumn season, or practically any other date throughout the calendar year, if those dates happen to be better for their own group, their groups, or section and served agencies with which they are working. This nationwide exercise is a chance to test your personal emergency operating skills and the readiness of your communications equipment and accessories in a simulated emergency deployment. ARRL field organization leaders at the section and local levels and many other volunteers who are active in public service and emergency communications are developing scenarios in consultation with a variety of served agencies and organizations. Station readiness, personal training, and practice are the tenets of amateur radio service. Any time we spend on the air contributes to personal radio communications capability. ARRL's Amateur Radio Emergency Service ARRS, the National Traffic System NTS, the Amateur Radio Civil Emergency Service RACES, Skywarn, Community Emergency Response Team CERT, Salvation Army Emergency Team Radio Network, SATRN, and other allied groups and public service-oriented radio amateurs are among those who are eligible to participate in the simulated exercise and to practice emergency operation plans, nets, and procedures. And thanks to ARRS editor Rick Palm, K1CE, for this update.
W0TX repeater.
With the heat wave stretching across most of the U.S., there are a few ways to beat the heat while keeping up with the latest in amateur radio. First, pull up a chair at your ham shack and get on the air. Second, read the latest from QST. A photo from Antarctica graces the cover of the August 2026 issue of QST, introducing members to one of the most remote installation of ham-sized personal space weather station, WSPS project, led by Nathaniel Frizzell, PhD, W2NAF. Read more about HamSci, the Ham Radio Science Citizen Investigation, in this issue's special section, which explores PSWS, other HamSci projects, and their 2026 workshop hosted by ARRL. Also in this issue, QS2 reviews the QRP Labs QMX Plus 160 to 6-meter QRP transceiver, the West Mountain Radio N8XJK Super Booster, and the Chameleon Antenna CHA FSR system. There's also a recap of the Dayton Hamvention 2026, including a roundup of new products from the event. And did you know that nearly 40,000 members subscribe to the print edition of QST? All members can access the digital editions and archives of all 4 ARRL magazines, QST, On the Air, QEX, and NCJ. Download the ARRL Magazine's app or bookmark www.arrl.org/ARRL-magazines. And here's a tip. Remember to download current issues before you head off on your next vacation. And as you travel this summer, share with us where you've carried QST, print or digital. We might include your photo in a future issue of the ARRL letter. Entries are still coming in for ARRL Field Day 2026, and as of July 16th, there were 3,527 entries. A reminder that entries must be postmarked or submitted via the web app by Tuesday, July 28th, 2026, and late entries cannot be accepted. Check the Field Day app to see if your entry has been received, and if your entry is missing any required documentation or bonus point proof, the status will be listed as pending. Participants may upload additional documentation for the entry and to the entry up to 30 days after the entry deadline. The official 2026 Field Day results will be available at arrl.org and in December 2026 on QST. And Field Day Soapbox is a pretty busy place. You can check it out for photos and stories about Field Day 2026. Bruce Page, KK5DO, is here now with this week's AMSAT report. Bruce?
Thanks, John. John, KD2BD, has updated his Predict software to version 3.0.0. Earlier this week, the last TLE number was issued. Now that the available numbers for satellites has been exhausted, new formats are available that allow a 6-digit number. They are available in the following formats: GP, CSV, KVN, JSON, and XML. For those that require TLEs, you can still acquire them. However, there will be no further new satellites added. For those unfamiliar with Predict, it is a multi-user open-source satellite tracking orbital prediction application for Linux and Unix computing environments, including PCs, laptops, Linux-capable single-board computers, Raspberry Pis, and Android devices running under Termux environment. Predict handles rotor control exclusively through HamLib, with rotor movement beginning 2 minutes before AOS. There are many more features that we do not have time to go through. You can visit John's website to get more information or download the software at qsl.net/KD2BD. Who are some of the users of the software? NASA for orbital prediction and tracking data for VLBI radio telescope steering, European Space Agency's Rutherford Appleton Laboratory for tracking and velocity profile data used to steer the 25-meter dish antenna at the Shilbotten Observatory, AMSAT for their web-based past predictions. This is Bruce Page, KK5DO. Back to you, John.
And thanks, Bruce, for that report. Just ahead in radio sport this week, July 16th, the VHF-UHF FT8 Activity Contest, NA, that is digital. July 16th and 17th, the Walk for the Bacon QRP Contest, CW. July 16th as well, the NAQCC CW Sprint, CW. July 16th, the NTC QSO Party, that's at CW. July 18th through the 19th, it's the LABRE DX Contest, CW and phone. And July 18th, the Russian Radio Team Championship, that's CW and phone. And remember to visit the ARRL contest calendar for more events and information in your area. upcoming ARRL conventions and major events, July 17th to the 19th, it's the Glacier Waterton Hamfest hosting the ARRL Montana Section Convention. That's in Essex, Montana. July 25th, the ARRL South Dakota State Convention in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And on July 25th as well, the ARRL West Virginia State Convention in Sutton, West Virginia. And save the date, October 9th and 10th for SparkCon 2026, hosting the ARRL Midwest Division Convention in Sedalia, Missouri. And remember to search the ARRL Hamfest and Convention database to find more events in your area. Following America 250 W1AW portable activations begin 0000 Zulu on Wednesdays and end at 2359 Zulu on Tuesdays. That's 7 days total for each activation. And here are this week's activation. July 7th, Georgia, W1AW/4 with the host KJ4CNC. July 15th, Indiana, W1AW/9 with the host AK9R. Also on July 15th, Pennsylvania, W1AW/3 with the host K3LR. July 15th as well, Utah, W1AW/7, the host there NA7C. July 22nd, Rhode Island, W1AW/1, the host N1SXB. And July 22nd, South Carolina, W1AW/4 with the host KG9V. And you can see the complete schedule at www.arrl.org/America250-WAS. And finally this week, thanks to the West Central Indiana Amateur Radio Club, WC9IN in West Lafayette, Indiana, for airing the ARRL audio news on their repeaters. 7-3.
And that concludes ARRL audio news for this week. Our thanks to all contributors to this week's report. ARRL audio news is produced by the American Radio Relay League, the National Association for Amateur Radio. For more information on amateur radio or the ARRL, visit us on the web at arrl.org. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter by searching for ARRL. If you have a question or comment about ARRL audio news, email us at audionews@arrl.org. This program is copyright ARRL, all rights reserved. 73, and thanks for listening.
Information about this amateur radio, voice over IP audio news service is on the web at arrlnews.rfnet.link. W0TX Repeater.